following is a candidate forum conducted by the Cold Spring Area Chamber of Commerce on Thursday, October 12th. Due to technical difficulties, viewers will witness some audio interference in parts of this program. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause for either the candidates or for you, the listening audience.
How would you propose to clean up existing problem areas within our state?
This is an issue that I've really have taken a close interest in. One of the things is we need to streamline the system. I think one of the most bureaucratic systems that we have is our environmental agencies. And let me just list off a few of the agencies that are responsible for environmental protection and water quality. We have the local watershed districts. We have the Stearns County Soil and Water Conservation District. We have the Stearns County Environmental Protection. We have the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. And we have the Army Corps of Engineers. Right there are 5 bureaucracies that are responsible for many of the same things, and we see a huge overlap of those responsibilities that only cause greater frustration for our homeowners, our farmers, and the people that have the best of intentions of making sure that our waters are clean. We need to streamline this system. I think that's one of the areas of the state of Minnesota that we can have some of the most significant cost savings. And we also have to make sure that we make an investment into water quality and that we have the resources that are there. Currently, we have a federal mandate, and I think we all know about unfunded mandates, that we test our waters in Minnesota. The majority of our waters are impaired waterways. And we've got to make sure we address that because it's a significant economic development issue. With the Lake Pepin Watershed District, Annandale, and not Annandale, but you look at St. Michael, Albertville, they can't expand. They can't build a new water treatment plant because that's an impaired waterway. If we don't fix our waterways, our communities that are growing and want to be economically viable aren't going to be able to take advantage of the potential. So we've got to clean up our waterways, allow for greater expansion, and allow for economic development. But that costs money. We have to test those waters. It's a federal mandate. If we don't do it, we are handicapping our local communities in their ability to grow and their ability to prosper. So we've got to make sure that we have the money in the system. The Clean Water Legacy Act is a great start. It's estimated it's about $80 million a year that we need to meet the federal mandates for testing our waters and to implementing our programs called NPDES studies. And we need to make sure that we have the resources there. We also have to make sure that we dedicate funding to conservation. One of the greatest things that we have in Stearns County is the sportsmen and sportswomen activities that we have. And that includes conservation funding, and that includes clean water. We don't have a healthy habitat and we don't have healthy wildlife if we don't have a healthy environment. So we need to make sure that we put the funding into the system and also make the system more accountable, more streamlined, and less bureaucratic.
When you're talking about water quality, excuse me, we can't do enough as a state to provide the necessary funds. When you're talking about water testing, when you're talking about facility, treatment centers, it's going to cost money. We need to provide that money for cities and for farmers to work together with the federal and state government to clean up our waters, to clean up our waterways. We need to provide farmers the necessary funds to clean up their farms. We can't over-regulate them, but we can help them out. With cities like Richmond, we can give them funds and necessary funds to develop water treatment centers to help the waterways. When you look at our budget, like my opponent talked about, numerous programs covering the same thing. We need to take a look at our budget process and look at ways we can maybe not spend as much in areas that we're spending too much in. Too many programs that are covering the same thing. We can spend that money in other ways, giving relief to farmers, giving relief to cities. We need to dedicate money to conservation and keep that up. All this is going to cost money. We can take a look at where we're spending our money in other areas to increase spending in some areas such as clean water and providing farmers and cities the enough funds that they need.